Kakashi Hatake, the ninja who copied over 1,000 jutsu with the Sharingan and the hero of the 3rd and 4th Great Ninja War, eventually became the 6th Hokage. That much is pretty much well known by Naruto fans everywhere, but what isn't as well known is the fact that Kakashi had a very real fear of becoming the 6th Hokage after the end of the 4th Great Ninja War, so much so that he gave extreme consideration into turning down the position despite the fact that Tsunade was hounding him to take up the mantle of 6th Hokage. In today's edition of After Naruto Shippuden, I plan to explain to you guys why Kakashi felt as if he was unworthy of becoming the 6th Hokage. The information comes to us via the Kakashi Hiden novel, Lightning in the Frozen Sky, which I have a link to in the description box for you guys to read the novel in its entirety and support the channel at the same time if you choose to do so. In this scene I'm about to go over, Kakashi is confronted yet again by Tsunade, who demands to know why Kakashi hasn't settled on a ceremony to officially become the 6th Hokage and officially relieve Tsunade of all of Hokage duties, which up until this point in the timeline she still carried out while waiting for Kakashi to formally take the position. Think of it like how our own elections work here in America. A presidential candidate wins election in November, but the current president isn't removed from office until January 20th of the next year. In this case, as Kakashi likes to say, he got so lost on the path of life that Kakashi's face had already been carved into the side of the Hokage monument. In this passage I'm going to share, I'll go over a few select portions that will take us into the very fractured psyche of Kakashi after the chaos that was known as the 4th Great Ninja War. However, what's most important is that you can see just how much Kakashi loves his village and why Tsunade was so dead set on making Kakashi the 6th Hokage instead of going with the very popular choice of Naruto Uzumaki, who had a growing number of villagers calling on Naruto to replace Tsunade as Hokage. So, like usual, I'll go over the passages in question and then come back to you guys with my thoughts, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Kakashi, have you still not settled on an inauguration date? Tsunade asked. Kakashi averted his eyes. Oh, Kakashi, I understand your hesitation. I was like that too, Tsunade said, as her face softened. Kakashi, at the time of the 5 Kage summit, were you not firm in your resolution to become the 6th Hokage? What changed since then? Tsunade asked. Lady Tsunade, at that time, I still had the Sharingan eye. Losing the Sharingan, it means I've lost the Lightning Blade. Lightning Blade is a jutsu I can only use if I have the dynamic vision of the Sharingan. I thought that such a jutsu would allow me to protect the village if I somehow became Hokage, Kakashi said. Obito's voice suddenly came back to life in Kakashi's ears. You must become the 6th Hokage, Kakashi. Obito's voice echoed. Obito gave me both of his Sharingan. The Sharingan was alone with an expiration date, both times that I had it. I knew that, and yet and still, I relied on it too much when he gave me his Sharingan. In quote, it's in the part where Kakashi thinks to himself about Obito's Sharingan that's very telling. Kakashi admitted that he focused too much on using the Sharingan eye and not enough on honing his already prodigal talent. Before getting the Sharingan, Kakashi was already a Jonin level ninja and had mastery over multiple changes in chakra nature as well as change in chakra form. Even his sensei, Minato, a man who would one day go on to become the 4th Hokage, would marvel at Kakashi's skill. At a very young age, Kakashi had a potential that looked like it didn't even have a ceiling. However, you could argue that Kakashi's reliance on the Sharingan acted in much of the same way as an addiction. Kakashi knew that using the Sharingan came with limits because of his body, but he was too tempted by the power that it gave him. Being able to copy ninjutsu, see chakra as a color, foresee movements by reading the muscle twitches of his enemies, and use extremely advanced visual genjutsu that's only given to those who have the Sharingan was too much for Kakashi not to use. Now, to play devil's advocate, part of it could be his vow to ensure that Obito's eyes see the ninja world that Kakashi would protect because he thought that Obito was dead. But Kakashi's admittance here shows that there was something deeper to his usage of the Sharingan. Now, make no mistake, if Kakashi wanted to, he could use the Chidori or a more advanced version that was referenced here, being the Lightning Blade. However, like Minato stated in Volume Volume 27 of the Naruto manga, Kakashi's jutsu was too dangerous to use without the Sharingan and was incomplete due to the weaknesses that it created for the user. Without the Sharingan's Eye of Insight, the user will be left open for counterattacks if the jutsu misses or the target changes directions at the very last second. For instance, if Kakashi used the jutsu in Naruto the Last when the meteor was headed towards Konoha, Kakashi could have activated the jutsu, gathered up the required speed to use it, and then blown up the meteor. However, due to the tunnel vision that was created, Kakashi would be unable to avoid the debris that was created by his jutsu because he wouldn't see it coming. This would have led to Kakashi getting a blow on his head that strikes him when he isn't prepared for it, which could have actually killed him. It's for that reason why during the novelization for Naruto the Last that when Kakashi saw the meteor, he stepped forward and stated that he was fully prepared to die because Kakashi realized he was out of options. By this point in the timeline, Kakashi had already created the Purple Lightning Jutsu, which Kakashi stated was an inferior jutsu to the Chidori and to the Lightning Blade, despite the fact that Purple Lightning is more versatile and gives him more usage in a battle. Purple Lightning, for all of its handiness, by Kakashi's own admittance and through his thought process in the novel, lacks the raw power of the Chidori and the Raikiri. For a more detailed breakdown, you can look at my video on Purple Lightning that I did last year. Going back to the novel, despite the fact that Tsunade told Kakashi that feeling weighed down by the responsibility that comes with being Hokage is something that is normal, Kakashi still felt as if he was unworthy of the title that his former sensei Minato once had. I have no doubt that Kakashi knew just what potential danger came with being Hokage. If something happened to the village, he had to be willing to sacrifice his own life to protect the village at all costs. His sensei Minato took on the Nine-Tailed Fox after fighting someone that he believed was Mamoru Uchiha and managed to protect the village from further damage by the Kyuubi. On top of all of that, he also kept Konoha's future military power in mind when he made his own son, Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi, despite his wife's dying wishes for Minato to live and raise their son while she dragged the Kyuubi with her to death. The third Hokage sealed away his soul and the jutsu of Orochimaru to prevent a threat from attacking the village in the future, and this wasn't just any ordinary threat. Orochimaru at the time was someone that Hiruzen Sarutobi honestly believed was the greatest threat to the village, and it's for that reason he gave his life. Going all the way back to the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju fought off 20 S-rank ninja, including the Gold and Silver brothers, two people who had the chakra of the Nine-Tailed Fox in their possession. Hiruzen Sarutobi was just named the third Hokage, and yet Tobirama Senju laid down his life so Hiruzen could lead their team back to the village in safety. Even the woman standing before him, Tsunade herself, put her life on the line twice. She pushed herself to a comatose state to protect all of the villagers who were still alive during Pain's attack, and she even got her body split in half by Mamoru Uchiha's wood when she fought against him in the Fourth Great Ninja War. In each instance, the Hokage possessed the power and skill to protect the village and carried out a mission to do so, even if it meant losing their lives in the process. Kakashi, lacking the confidence in his own abilities, was a mental block that kept him from feeling worthy, despite the fact that Tsunade and Naruto told him otherwise on more than one occasion. Kakashi would have been crushed if he couldn't protect the youth of the village that he was charged with protecting and developing, which is another reason why I personally agree with Tsunade's assessment that he was indeed ready to become Hokage. After all, he obviously cared about his village, but he lacked the confidence to protect it. While Kakashi was drowning in his own fear of his own weakness, he missed what Tsunade was trying to teach him. It's often in our darkest moments when we come face to face with our own fear and our own limitations that we find ourselves becoming stronger. To use a very personal example, back when I broke my leg in 2015, I went through a period of depression and anger. Even after I got cleared to walk again without any assistance, without a booted cast, it still took me over 2 years to get over the fear that I had of re-injuring my leg. Whenever I went to the gym, I would skip doing squats and I would skip doing leg presses this because of my fear of re-breaking my leg. Kakashi didn't have a broken leg obviously, but he did lose what he believed to be his most powerful tools, the Sharingan and 2 of his strongest lightning-based jutsu. No amount of pushing by Tsunade or even Naruto could work on him. It was something that Kakashi would need to work through on his own, which is something that he does later on in the novel after getting inspiration from a very unlikely source. So what did you guys think about this? And as a final question to you, do you guys think that Kakashi without the Sharingan was worthy of becoming Hokage, or do you think Tsunade should have stayed on until Naruto was mature enough to take up the mantle of the position? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an incredible day guys.